Microsoft just unveiled a major advancement in quantum computing.
It's Damien from Shooting the Shit only on Bimblebit.com.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Shooting the Shit here on Bimblebit. Whether you're tuning in from Nostr or YouTube, we appreciate the likes and we appreciate your comments.
And we appreciate our hosts who are busy vacationing all over the world. We have Fairmont, BC. That's where Andy is. And Damien's traveling in the Caribbean right now. He just finished up a cruise and now he's spending a little time in the Dominican Republic. So they'll be back next week.
Fun in the sun. I'm looking forward to hearing what Damien has from the field.
We're going to hear from Damien a little bit later in the show.
Hey, we're just talking about Bitcoin and shooting the shit here a little bit. Merv, what do you have for this week for hot topics?
Well, I have some questions. I'm going to grill you a little bit because you're kind of the sensei. Trevor, I do have some questions when it comes to quantum computing. Tell me a little bit more about that because Microsoft is doing some upgrades.
Yeah, I've heard some news reports recently that they've developed a new matter. It's not a solid, it's not a liquid, but it allows quantum computing to work a little bit better. They call it qubits. Qubits.
I remember Qbert.
Yes, Qbert. That was the first implementation of quantum computing.
Are you serious?
Do you remember qubit? We could be dating ourselves, I remember.
Oh, my hairline does that for me. Don't worry about that.
Microsoft just unveiled a major advancement in quantum computing. It seems like quantum is making huge leaps in the last year. And apparently they did this by creating a new state of matter. Listen to what Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, had to say about this. Most of us grew up learning that there are three types of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Today, that changed. We've created an entirely new state of matter unlocked by a new class of materials, Topo Conductors, that enable a fundamental leap in computing. This new material allows for qubits to be 1/100th of a millimeter, meaning that we can now have a clear path to a million-qubit processor. And this new chip is called Majorana 1. And here's the thing, Microsoft is not just going after the research, they are looking to commercialize this, and quickly. We all know the implications. What happens to cryptography when this chip can break it in seconds? And that includes both the security on the internet and the entire crypto market. These things are coming faster than we ever thought.
Great. Yes, that's a very interesting development. We'll have to see how qubits plays into the mining algorithms, I guess, with Bitcoin as we go forward.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Checking in with TC and our time chain calendar, we are currently at blockchain height 939301.
So if it grows every 10 minutes, how long till we hit 1 million?
Oh, man, that's a great question. Okay, so time, let's see what it is here. Our blocks happen at...
Pull out your abacus.
Yeah, our blocks happen at 10-minute intervals.
Okay.
Or as close to 10 minutes as it can possibly get.
I've already stated on the show I don't do math, so you're going to have to help me out.
Yeah, you betcha. Okay, so we want 1 million blocks, and we're currently at block height 939301. That gives us 60,699 blocks left to block height 1 million.
That's quite a milestone.
We are going to multiply that by 10 minutes each.
Wow.
That gives us roughly 600,000, we say 607,000 minutes. Okay, 607,000 minutes.
It's not that long.
To the million marker. Let's keep going with this thing. 600,000 divided by 60 minutes in an hour.
Is this what you do in your spare time?
We're going to run those numbers for you and put them on the screen so we know exactly when we estimated that we roll the 1 million marker on the blockchain height.
What a milestone.
Courtesy timechaincalendar.com. He has an amazing site, an amazing tool. Fun to watch all the stats on there. Check it out for yourselves.
Yes, please do. I'm full of questions today. I have to ask you because I've got you for 10 minutes here. I want to know about what's happening in Drumheller. Tell me what's going on with the mining.
Drumheller. Do you remember Hut 8? Hut 8 was a company that did some mining up in that area previously. In the news, they're talking about ABTC mining. ABTC mining corporation. It's a corporation out of the United States with some interesting ties. Look that up for yourselves. Yeah, they're talking about implementing a mining center in that Drumheller. Of course, the infrastructure will be provided by or upgraded by Hut 8 in Canada. Some interesting links and ties there.
So they already had, they've got the dinosaurs.
They've got the dinosaurs.
They've got the hoodoos.
They got the hoodoos.
They
But
got Nickelback.
they've got Nickelback. Yes, that's right.
And now they have Bitcoin mining.
They've had Bitcoin mining for a long time. Drumheller has been setting the stage in Bitcoin world for some time now.
Awesome. That's incredible. Well, good for Drumheller. Look forward to more on that.
Yeah, and some of the names that are coming with that ABTC Mining Corporation, look them up. You'll be intrigued as well. We'll follow up on that story. Bitcoin is really setting the stage for a place to secure your dollars. And it's happening for stability, happening all around the world. It's so nice to see.
Absolutely, especially in these uncertain times. Another interesting story that I heard about is on the west coast of the province of British Columbia, Canada. There's a ghost town.
Canadian story.
Right. And it's absolutely intriguing. Ocean Falls. And they're going to take this ghost town and also turn it into a mining opportunity.
You know, I've heard a lot of those instances where these remote places start utilizing power that was there previously, or implementing new power facilities to do mining, last mile mining, and because they're bringing electricity to these areas.
Yeah,
Infrastructure, right? The economy's blossom, which is really nice to see as well. Ocean Falls in BC. I think I heard that it was a 13 megawatt generation station that they used to use for paper mining.
Wow. So now they're going paperless.
Going paperless.
Going digital, baby.
Going digital, going paperless. Yeah, that'll be really nice to see a Bitcoin miner set up in that place. I hope it's Bitcoin related.
Awesome. I think we should take this opportunity to check in with a good friend, your regular host for Shooting the Shit, Damien in the Caribbean, and see what he's up to today with his lovely wife, Carol.
Hey, it's Damien from Shooting the Shit. I am still away, my wife and I, in the beautiful island of the Dominican Republic. We were on a cruise for a week, and now we're enjoying another week at the La Romana Dominicus Dreams Resort, and it's just beautiful. I know Merv, DJ Revelo, and Andy are getting ready for the show as well. We've got Trevor and Jay behind the scenes making sure everything's up to date, and it was great to see that Bitcoin was up a little bit this morning, so wonderful news across the board. Look forward to seeing you when we get back. Play safe, have fun, one love. It's Damien from Shooting the Shit, only on Bimblebit.com.
Well, as we do on every show, we're going to take a look at what's coming up in the world of Bitcoin. Here is your events calendar.
Satoshi Quotes. Episode 6.
It might make sense just to get some in case it catches on.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Isn't that neat to see how Bitcoin is impacting the world and being used in so many different ways? Lovely. I really like to see that.
Yeah, from Curacao to, the Dominican Republic, Bitcoin is global.
Yeah. Is there anything now that I got you here?
Yeah.
Is there anything that's been happening lately in the Bitcoin space that you found interesting or intriguing?
Just the ups and downs. I mean, that's really all I watch, Trevor, because it's...
Do you watch the market going up
daily.
and down?
Yeah, I watch it daily. I follow, and obviously we dip down, but after being involved with Bitcoin for a number of years here now, I've learned to understand that it goes down, but she's going to come back up.
It's the most interesting part of Bitcoin. I've been watching those undulations for a very long time. And one of the neat pieces that I've seen replay over and over and over is this movement from the 8 levels up to 1.2 and then back down. We've seen it happen at 80 cents to $1.20. We saw it happen from $8 to $12, from $80 to $120, from $800 to $1,200, and then pull back down to that level. You know what? We're doing the exact same thing again.
The incredible thing that I've noticed is that the increments in which it now grows. It may dip down quickly, but it gains momentum so rapidly, and it grows in bigger chunks now. And it didn't do that 10 years ago. And now it's, the increments that it's growing by just boggles my mind.
Lots of things about Bitcoin just keep boggling the mind, you know. I've been at it for a long time and still boggles my mind.
I'm not spending. I'm holding, and where it is where it's going to stay.
If that's what you need to do.
Absolutely.
For sure. You know, here at Bimblebit, we're always interested in new technologies and distributed systems that are happening in this space. One of the distributed systems that I've heard about recently is an opportunity to land in the movie space and contribute to an open source project. Merv, can you tell us a little bit about?
Yes, absolutely. I'm working for a company out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and we are currently about to set the Guinness Book of World Records for most kills in a horror film. It's called Until There Is One, and it's an admission-based project. So what that means is it's sourced by our cast. And it's not new to Hollywood. A lot of the independent companies do it. It's called crowdfunding. So it's been an incredible opportunity. We wrapped up in Vegas here recently. We're off to Calgary this week, then Toronto, then down to Los Angeles, and back up to Vancouver, BC.
Are you finding lots of success
Absolutely.
in the project?
It's incredible. The opportunities to have speaking lines, to be killed by your favorite celebrity. And we have a cast, if you're a horror fan, you know the Lee Waddells, the Brett Wagners, the Doug Tates from Jason. And it's just incredible, the people that we have. It's a stacked cast of celebrity horror icons.
Oh, that sounds phenomenal.
So people are really excited about, helping to set the Guinness Book of World Records, getting killed off by their favorite celebrity, or actually getting, a minimum of 3 speaking lines, maybe more if their cell tape is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really interested in hearing more. Merv, where would I look this information up?
Well, you can check us out at mmpwstudios.com, or you can follow us on Instagram or our Facebook page.
And what do I look for on Instagram or Facebook?
On Instagram, Facebook, look for Magnificent Motion Pictures.
And I can be in this film.
You can be in this film.
Kill them any way I want.
Just book your appointment. You're going to get me on the phone.
Awesome. Hey, I'd love to hear it.
But it's been my pleasure to fill in for these last 2 episodes. Awesome to have you, Trevor.
Thank you. Yeah, that was great, Merv. Thanks.
Fantastic.
Good to have you as well. DJ Revelo in the house.
DJ Revelo. Hoodies online at djrevelo.com.
Thanks for joining in with Shooting the Shit and Bimblebit.com. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate the comments. We'll see you next week. I'm Trevor.
I'm Merv, and we appreciate you.